Hello everybody, this is Lee from Normandy Atelier. Today we are in the living room because I want to talk to you a little bit about one of my all-time favorite albums, which is Like a Prayer by Madonna. I love this album so much. I love everything Madonna does, but this album is so special. Not because it's full of hits and full of all amazing music and tunes and lyrics and all that, but it's because of its philosophy. For me, it's a very unique album. I don't even know if there is something similar to it in the music industry. I don't think so. And the reason why I wanted to make this video, it's funny because I was on social media, which is disgusting these days. Well, always. But because of my work, I am a journalist and a writer, and I need to keep up with things. I need to search up for things on social media to see what am I going to write about and stuff like that. And I saw a post, I don't know if it was on Instagram or on X, and it was about this account who published all things about Madonna from history, and it was a newspaper, and they were saying we are going to kill Madonna or something like that. That was the front page of the newspaper, which is horrifying. Like, she had to endure life threats and stuff like that, even on newspapers. It's supposed to be a little bit better than whatever the hell that was at the time. And I was thinking, why people hate Madonna so much? Why did she had all these problems with the Vatican, the American governments, all the conservative around the world, especially in the United States? Why? And for me, she was always a golden girl before she was this pop girl in her 80s years, especially when they started. But at the time, she had lots of backlash, or because she was white trash, or she was inappropriate, she was sexual, she was a bad influence on our kids. But after Like a Prayer, especially after Like a Prayer, when she released that album, the threats towards her became more severe. Everything that she does became controversial, although she has always been, like, for me at least, not only for me, she has always been on the right side. She was always supporting people. She was always supporting the one who need help, no matter who they are or their identity or what they do in life or whatever. And I was thinking about it not only as a fan, but especially as a journalist, because I cover on daily basis. I cover media topics. I cover stories about it's not only social media, but media in general and pop culture, and related to everyday life and politics all around the world. And for me, Like a Prayer is a very interesting album because, yes, she did did all the what they call shocking imagery at the time, with crosses, with singing in the church and stuff like that. The most controversial about that video for people, and especially racist people, is when she talked about racism in the United States and racial profiling in the United States in that video, and all the problems with the Vatican at the time. And for me, when I looked at that, yeah, she did even more severe things later in life. Like, when you look to Holy Water, the song that she did in Rebel Heart, I love that album so much. She did that song. It's technically, if we are looking at that song from a religious point of view, it's blasphemy. Especially the performance that she did at the Rebel Heart tour, which was an inspiration for the Last Supper section in the Paris Olympic Games opening ceremony in 2024. And that was a huge controversy by itself, but the inspiration of it, for me at least, it comes from Madonna, from that section when she did that song. I love that song. And I was thinking, American Life, it was a political statement, American Life. Everything that she did after Like a Prayer was technically a political statement in a way. Even erotica, it's a political statement. When you own your sexuality, especially as a woman, when you talk about your fantasies without any fear, when you share the most intimate part of yourself with the world, as an artist in a very beautiful and artistic and poetic way. That is technically a political statement. And I was thinking, why Like a Prayer is technically the start of all that, although it's not. Like, when you listen, it's not a political statement technically, as harsh or as direct as other albums or other songs that Madonna did. I am listening to the album and I am seeing all the list of the songs, and technically it's a love album. Everything about it, it's a pop love album. Yes, nothing heard before, especially the song Like a Prayer, like musically and sonically. And I then like started to think about it differently. This is not a love album. This is an album that is questioning every single aspect of life. At that time, Madonna, in the end of the 80s, her life all around her life was changing. Her best friends was like died from AIDS. Lots of other people died from AIDS, like it was the AIDS crisis. Lots of people that she knew personally and she loved, and they was their friends, her community. Her marriage to Sean Penn ended to a divorce. She was not getting older. She was just growing as a person, growing as a woman, as a person, as an artist. She was growing, and she was just questioning life because everything around her was technically collapsing. And she grew in a religion family, technically, or environment. I don't know how much religious she was, but when you grew in a religious environment and when religion is all around you, even if you are not practicing religion or you are not telling yourself that you are a religious person, you still look to religion in a specific way as this concept or as this something that is a little bit valuable or something that you need to respect. And she didn't do anything toward religion up to that point in time. Everything before that was pop songs, catchy music, dancing music, and it was a little bit sexual, a little bit like fun. She had lots of creative ideas, especially when you think about Material Girl. I love that song. Technically, she changed what music is. Not only pop music is, she changed what music is. The music before the album Madonna is not the same as the music after the album Madonna. And we can argue the same. The music before and after Like a Virgin is not the same. She changed the music in the 80s and the entire pop scene and what exactly mean to be an artist who is like not only merging genres together and ideas together from all around the world, but owning that in a very special way and presenting that in a very, very artistic way. Everything that she did up to that point was related to personal freedom. You own your body, you own your creativity, and you are not apologetic about it, and you are just doing what you want to do as an artist, and no matter what is the outcome of that, and no matter what is the backlash that you might get from that. And she started as a punk rock artist with groups and stuff like that. I love that about her. She still has that spirit in her. But in Like a Prayer, she did something completely different. The whole world around her, her inner world was collapsing. Especially she found the religion, which is that maybe was, for me, I believe it was a very basic part of her life, especially as a child, as something comforting and as something supposed to be cute and nice, and it's like there to help people. At that time, religion and the Catholic Church was, especially in the United States, was very critical and very harsh toward the LGBTQ community and everything related to the AIDS crisis. And there are lots of all these clips and articles and media about how were they talking in churches and like religious people toward the crisis. Oh, it's a punishment from God and they deserve that, to gay people or anybody who is having AIDS, and many other things. And I believe because of that, Madonna at that time, because everything else, the marriage, the divorce, the death surrounding her, she was questioning life itself. Every song in that album is a question toward something in life, toward love, toward God, toward religion, toward marriage, toward family, toward everything, toward politics, toward everything, toward love itself. If we look to the album like a prayer, it's the best song. I believe it's one of the best songs in the entire history. It's a great song. Everything about that song is magnificent. It's timeless. It will always be a timeless song. There is something magical about it, but for me, she was questioning religion at that time. She was questioning what does religion mean, what does being an American citizen at the time mean, what does that mean to be just a person on this earth mean, surrounding by all this imagery and sacred imagery and sacred ideas and ideologies, especially in like God. And she was questioning that. She was questioning in a very not violent way. She was in a very beautiful way. And the burning crosses for me is that it's just this spark that lead a person to question. When you question, I believe, something as sacred as established as religion or a dictatorship or something, this is the worst part from the authority point of view. The authority will always think that is very dangerous, because when you think and when you're questioning, you will arrive to the truth, probably. And for somebody like Madonna, with all the fame, all the influence that Madonna has, nobody has the same influence in pop culture, I believe, ever. Yeah, this is very dangerous, because if Madonna thinks like that, her ideas will spread, because she has the mean and the power to make her voice heard by millions of people all around the planet. And I know myself, when I was questioning God, when I was like, because I'm atheist since I was like 15, 16, like I was really young. And no matter what is your religion is a very strong, it's a prison that exists in any society, especially when you are surrounded by religious people, and they are good people, they are not bad people, and they are not trying to maybe control your life or something like that. That could happen, but maybe they are nice, like my family was. But it's always there, it's on the background of you, it's like the language around you, everything like that. Sometimes the language itself is religious. How do you say certain things? I remember I was really, it's not like angry, I was just confrontational. I was trying to confront religion and telling people that my voice is heard. And this is why I believe, like I wrote short stories and I published them on a blog and stuff like many things, and article later. And I was not angry, you feel like you want to shatter something, you want to break all that this like glass. Like in every church there is a painting that I did, inspired by the colored glass in cathedral in Normandy, but I didn't want to have religious imagery, so I had the king of all frogs. But you want to shatter the glass. This is what I feel like Madonna did. She was just screaming. This is why she did the imagery, the burning crosses. That was beautiful. And the meaning of that video is not only about racism in America, but it's also about all the things that exist in any religion, and it's not true, because you look to religion, oh, it's nice, it's cute, it's like it's peace. You will feel peace when you will arrive to a better state. You will be a better human. You will be a better person. But at the same time, it's not, because all the discrimination that any religion has toward not only the people who don't believe in a specific religion, but the people who believe in the same religion, but not to the same extent, or they don't do certain things or whatever. Like, it's like there are lots of discrimination toward all kind of people if you search around it, and you think, this is not the religion that I wanted to be in. And then you start to think about religion in a historic way, and you find it's all false. It doesn't matter. Like, religion will be also at the end, it's a personal choice. If you want to believe, you can believe whatever, it doesn't matter. But when you don't, and when you're just questioning, you will think, you will feel that you want to scream your ideas so that they can be heard, because it's like a prison. You lived all your life in a prison. And for me, every other songs in the album is continuation for that, but toward a different subject. If you think about Express Yourself, which is the next song in the album, it's again express yourself, questioning love, questioning traditional love, questioning just being content of a bad relationship just because you don't have anything else, especially if you are a woman. Because in that song, she screams, girls, do you believe in love? I want to tell you about it. I have something to say about it. And she mentioned all that kind of things, and it's about material lives, and is that even love or a relationship or stability or marriage, or what do you want in a relationship? And is it what other people told you before, or what you are searching in life in a relationship? If you are searching for a relationship, because maybe you don't, that is fine. And that is completely fine. Maybe you believe in multiple relationships at once. That is also fine. It doesn't matter. You don't need a structure to force you into a thing just because everybody else is doing it. And sometimes there are things and concepts in life. They are concepts. They are not natural or biological or something like that. They are just concepts that society, in some point in time, we created them. Like monogamy, for example, or something like that. But there are people who are absolutely completely fine by just being alone. There is nothing wrong in them just for not wanting to be in a traditional relationship or a traditional family or something like that. They don't want to. That is completely fine. But some people think they need to have that structure in their life, or they will always feel there is a hole or there is something missing in their lives, and that leads to desperation and frustration and many other things. And at the end, it's just a personal choice. It's what you do, what you want to do. And the next song in the album, I love that song so much. It's with Prince. It's Love Song. And again, it's questioning love and questioning what does it mean to be in a relationship. And she said this is not a love song, and everybody is singing in a different length wave, and they are not in the same page when they are singing and talking about love. Because what is love? What does it mean to be in a relationship? For me, it's a questioning of the concept of love by itself, because there is this idealistic version or image of love that we see in movies, and not only in movies, it's just in real life and all around us, and it doesn't exist sometimes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And for me, Madonna, at that time, she was questioning what does love mean. When we continue in the album, we find the song called Till Death Do Us Part, and it's technically about marriage. I feel like it's a story about questioning marriage, questioning family and the tradition, and this idea that love needs to last forever. Doesn't. Sometimes people come to your life for a few weeks, for a few months, and then they leave, and you loved them and they loved you, but the love ends. Everything, I feel, I don't know, for me, I always feel like everything in life comes with an expiry date, and even friendships and everything, and people. That sometimes is a little bit harsh, but it is the reality. Sometimes you will, like, love will end. It doesn't matter how much you love the other person, or the vows and the marriage and all the things that you said and you didn't say, and you did and you didn't do. Something will break and something will finish. For me, Madonna at that time, when I listened to other songs related, like listen to True Blue, all that album, it was just a lovey-dovey album, and this song is like the mature version of that. It's just sad. It's not sad. It's just real. It just finished. She was questioning what does it mean to have a family, to have a marriage in life, in society, especially when, like, all around us, especially now in this time, we are, family is the structure of the society. We need to have kids. We need all that. And no, I'm sorry, no. Like, the structure of of life is like individuality, and everything else come later. If you want to have a family, great. If you don't, great too. That doesn't need to be a structure. And even in other songs, like I feel this album has like sections, like we will finish with this like all those ideas and she will arrive to promise to try. It's a very sad song. It's very, very emotional. And she was just questioning trauma. She was questioning grief. She was questioning relationship with death. What does death mean? While she was surrounded by death, she remembered that she encountered death very young when her mother died when she was like 5 or 6 years old only. And she was questioning that. She was questioning what does it mean to be a kid without a mother? What does it mean to be sad? What does it mean to be surrounded by all this, again, religious imagery of death? Religion had this way to enter your life in a very like forceful ways. Like when death happens, religion is most of the time is there, which is annoying because maybe you don't believe in whatever religion is telling you about, well, death and after death, if that even exists or whatever. And all this practice that we have in any society toward death, when somebody died, and there are funerals and there are gathering and there are language that we are practicing and repeating, sometimes without even understanding what all those words mean. And for me, death has always been a very personal thing. If somebody that I love or very close to me died, I don't want to meet stranger or people I barely know or extended family, or I don't know who. When I am sad like that, I don't want to. And I feel like Madonna did that in that song. She just promised to try, and it's just a beautiful song. And even she continued that with Oh Father. Oh my God, Oh Father. Oh Father is her best ballad. It's very hard to say it's her best ballad song because she has lots of them. But this song is very personal. She didn't even sing it, maybe once or twice. Here she mixes everything personal with her father with a very religious imagery because she was always good with that. And she is playing with words. Oh Father, I have sinned. And questioning that relationship, questioning what does it mean to have an abusive father, for example, or bad family member? Society and religion especially will tell you need to forgive these people and you need to be the bigger person and you need to love them or stuff like that. But sometimes, no, you don't. If somebody is toxic to you, you need to run away. Madonna did that. You cannot hurt me anymore. And she is questioning why he is in that state, but she doesn't give him a forgiveness. She did forgive him. She said that she forgave him later in life or something. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But here in this song, she's questioning that relationship, which is a very core relationship in society and religion and in general, in our life in general. And sometimes it's really, really, really hard because when you are confronting your parents, in some way you are confronting yourself because you will feel guilty, and that guilt is really problematic. And she was questioning that. She was questioning the guilt. She was questioning the tear, the abuse, the relationship, the childhood, everything. And that is dangerous for authorities who talks about traditional families and they talk about all these concepts. Yeah, everything about that song is perfect. I have this dream that one day, maybe in her next tour, I don't know, she will do a very rock metal version of that song. She will have an entire section. She always have that with like a religious imagery section with like a prayer, stuff like that. But I wanted to sing her that song, and it's not about her father anymore. It's about God, the Father in the sky, wherever he is. Oh Father, I have sinned. Like black metal with electrical guitar, heavy drums, amazing. And she will move on to a song from her album Music, Paradise. Your paradise is not for me. And it will end with all this church bells ringing, very ominous way. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Imagine she will sing all these songs like a prayer, Holy Water from Rebel Heart, I Don't Give a Fuck, Oh Father, Live to Tell, and she will end with paradise, your paradise is not for me. Oh my god, that will be amazing. Anyway, and by continuing in the album, all the songs like Cherish or Keep It Together, they all have the same questioning about life. But when she arrived to the end of the album, everything will be so beautiful with Spanish eyes. Oh my god, that song is so sad and beautiful. She is singing about her best friend who died from AIDS, and when you look to the lyrics of that song, everything about this album will be clear because it's the most direct way about questioning life and questioning religion. She will say, let me read for you. If God exists, then help me pray for Spanish eyes. And she will repeat that in a very different ways here and there. But yeah, if God exists, she doesn't know if God exists. She is not fully atheist yet. And she is not providing her audience or herself with a manifesto about her beliefs or about her political stance like in her other albums or anything. Like, she's just questioning. She doesn't know. And when you are in this position, authority will feel threatened by you because you are thinking. And when you are thinking, you will arrive to the truth. And when you arrive to the truth, you will see the reality that you are living in. And I feel like without this album, all the things that Madonna did after that will not exist. Like, think about Madame X and that song Dark Ballet, when she or comforting religious people and clergy, and she is telling them, your world is an ugly world, it's a mess, and I don't want to live in it, and I want to live in my own terms and stuff like that. But all these songs, they are manifesto, they are direct statements about who she is. And all these albums after that, she was trying to find who she is. She did search for her sexuality in Erotica. She did search for her spirituality in Ray of Light and other albums too. And she always talks about trying to find her true self and who she is at this point in time, because every one of us, we are evolving, we are changing. The person who is living now is not the same as he was 10 years ago or who will be in 10 years later, because we are always contacting new ideas and things happen to us. And this is what does it mean to be an artist, I believe, to express that. And Madonna, for more than 40 years, she was maybe the only one who was very consistent in doing that in a very, very artistic and poetic way. She writes her ideas, she plays them, she writes the music with other artists. Of course, she do collaboration, and I love that so much. But it's her vision, it's her ideas, it's her philosophy that is like continuing to exist. And it has always been about personal freedom and about choice in life. And in this album, she was questioning everything that was given to her as a fact and as a strict fact and as something that we need to believe in without questioning. And yeah, without this album, nothing else after that will come. No American Life, no music, nothing. Even after that, she was questioning what does it mean to be a musician. Like, music is about that. Think about all the distortion in that album. Oh my god, she was just questioning what does music mean. It's just magnificent. Everything, for me, this album is important because of that. There is no other music album that have that same impact or same philosophy or same ideas. And this is why it's very different musically, and this is why it's not cohesive musically. You will see people, for example, do reaction on YouTube to this album, and they will say this album is not cohesive, it's very weird for us, we don't like it because it's not cohesive. But they are missing the idea, the main idea, which is it's cohesive in a philosophical way. It's a questioning, and this is why every song feel different, because musically and sonically, because they are trying to challenge a different topic. She was not afraid to do that, and she was, for the first time ever in her life, she was in control in everything related to that album. She just didn't shy away, or she didn't accept what she was offered, or she was threatened to accept, or she didn't. She just stayed true to herself. And I feel this is a lesson everybody needs to have and to learn from, because if you don't do that, you will always be frozen in time, and you will not evolve, and you will not discover things about yourself, and you will not live your life fully, and you will not, I don't know. I have always been trying myself to do that. And when I write, like for my work and for journalism, and even when I did literature before, I was always to find these answers, and those topics has always been very interesting to me. And for me, it's all about personal freedom. When that exists, you will question concepts that they already exist, they will challenge them, and then you will accept them by choice, or you will reject them. Both are valid. It depends about you. I don't know. This was my journey with this album. Like after all these years from listening to it, I love it so much. I appreciate it so much. I did a painting of Madonna a few months ago. It's the feeling that Madonna gives me, and I made it like a party on hell. I have it here in the living room. I had to include the burning crosses, of course. It's the most iconic imagery from Madonna, I believe. It's so hard to point to one imagery and say, oh, this is the most iconic imagery. But for me, when I think about her, I always think about that for some reason, but probably because of questioning religion. I had to question religion at one time in my life, and I had to just to abandon it completely. Sometimes I cannot believe that we are still having the same idea that existed, like, let's be honest, more than 4,000, 5,000 years ago, because all the religions are just a repetition of old myth and old stories that existed before them with different names and different skin, nothing more. And it's just, this is mind-blowing, and I cannot understand how all that still exists with modern life. Like, I don't believe in any shape or form that religion is suitable for modern life, but still it's a choice. Like, I believe, I don't know, it's complicated, but sometimes I feel like we need to talk about those things. We need to have those questions as individuals, especially from artists like Madonna. We don't have that anymore. We have Taylor Swift, who, when she sings about her diary or journal intime en français, whatever she does, that's it. Wow, lovely, very lovely. Anyway, we don't have that, but we need to have those questions, because it's essential, especially when we see all the rise of conservative speech, far right in all the Western world, all the extremists in the Middle East, for example. It's a horrifying world sometimes, I feel, but as individuals, I feel this is one of the hopes that we can carry, just to question everything and not to take anything for granted, of course, and just to try to live our life as we want it, as we please, before anything else. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a very different video from what I do normally, because normally, like, this video is supposed to be about Normandy or Normandy life and something like that, but I didn't feel like doing this today, and I didn't want to put a pressure on myself to do that. And maybe the schedule of this video of the month will be about whatever I want to talk about. It doesn't need to be about Normandy or tourism or something like that. It's just something that I want to express and talk about with you, and that could be fun. Why not? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in another video. Bye everybody.